Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man whose girlfriend had been two-timing. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. My girlfriend has started becoming verbally abusive and demeaning to me when we're around other people, and I don't know what to do. Should I say something? How should I approach this conversation to get her to stop? I'm looking for some advice, and I guess just some room to vent, because this has become a really annoying issue that I don't really know how to solve. And I can't really tell anyone about it because I guess I just seem like a pussy or something. Here's the deal. My 21 male girlfriend 22 has become super mean and dismissive, but only when we're around our friends and family. It's become such an issue that some of my friends have come up to me privately and asked what's been going on. And in one instance, when we were with her parents, her mom started getting onto her about being mean to me for no reason. The thing is that it's only when we're around other people. Whenever it's just us, she's as sweet as the day I met her, and it seems like nothing is wrong at all. We've been together for I think 2 years at this point and known each other through a few mutual friends. We started getting together after she got out of another relationship that turned out bad somehow. When we first started dating, my girlfriend was super sweet. She always just had some date idea that she would like to go on, and every time we could, we would go. Zoo trips, the aquarium, sometimes just a walk in the park and a picnic or some little thing like that. It was nice, you know. We were always together, and we were always doing something. Things started changing in the last 2 months. Maybe it started before that, but I just didn't notice. We stopped doing things together. Every so often, I would ask if there was something she wanted to do, and she would come up with some excuse, or she would just say she didn't have the energy. I remember a couple of times I would suggest a date idea that we've gone on before, and she would just say, "We've done that already," as if the novelty of the idea was the point. Just like super dismissive for anything we might be able to do together. That's when I started to notice her being mean too. The first time it happened, I didn't really notice it and just thought it was a joke. We were out with a few friends of ours when I fumbled my phone and kind of juggled it around while I was effing up. It didn't crack. And after I embarrassed myself in front of my friends, my girlfriend, and God knows how many people, she started to tear me down and make fun of how clumsy I am. I think the phrase was, I couldn't find my own dick if it wasn't attached to my own body. So alright, I did in fact screw up and it was kind of funny, even if it was at my expense, so whatever. But that ended up becoming more and more common. I didn't really take it so hard at first, but after a while it became like every available opportunity. She even started going after things that weren't my fault and blaming me for them. One time one of our friends forgot something and she called me a dumb frick for not reminding them to bring it with them. Maybe this doesn't sound like a lot, but it's just every single opportunity, man. She's just being super negative about me in front of people we know for no reason that I can find. Honestly, am I overreacting, or is there something there? I really cannot tell at this point. I think she's losing interest, but I don't see why that would make her so harsh with me. Especially when she's such a sweetheart to everyone else I've ever seen her with, too. Update. So, I decided to have a conversation with my girlfriend, and I didn't exactly get what I was expecting. Spoilers, we broke up. I started to talk to her about how she's been treating me and how I feel like there's something going on and I just can't see what it is. I wanted to know exactly what was bothering her, if there was anything, and we should talk about how things have been going. I don't really know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. She told me that there was in fact something going on. She had a new boyfriend. My girlfriend tells me that she has intentionally been being mean and verbally abusive to me in order to get me to dislike her, or rage enough against her in order for me to break up with her on my own. The first question was, what the F? And my second one was, why didn't she just break off from me on her own if that was the strategy? She tells me that she didn't want to be mean. I guess cheating on me and talking shit directly to me in front of our friends was not mean somehow. So yeah, things kind of fell apart from there. Update 2. I think final update on this one. My ex came back to me, somewhat unexpected. I thought I was pretty clear on how I didn't ever want to speak to her again after what she did to me, but I guess things are never what you expect them to be with her. She called me and asked me to meet with me at a local park, so I did. mostly to say some things I had been thinking of saying ever since all of this went down. Things with her new boyfriend were not going well, it seems. I don't really want to dance over her misery, but I really don't feel bad at all. From what I gather from what my ex has told me, her new boyfriend was not as nice as I was. She seems pretty shaken up by what's been going on with the two of them. I think there's some verbal or maybe even physical stuff going on there. I don't know. She sort of monologued about how she knows that she made some mistakes in how she treated me. No shit. But I was a really nice guy, and she regrets throwing away everything that we had together. She didn't know what she was getting into, and she just wanted to know if she still meant anything to me and if there was any chance I'd be willing to take her back after everything that happened. I went into this conversation all hot and bothered, but honestly, after hearing her say she was in a bad relationship and was now crawling back, I can say with no hesitation that I felt absolutely nothing. I wanted to get into this whole self-righteous speech like how dare you do this to me and everything, but at the end I just said no. I don't care about you anymore, and I got up and left. It ended up being way more cathartic than I thought it was. I'm sorry to hear that you went through such a challenging situation. It's clear that your ex-girlfriend's behavior was unacceptable and hurtful. It's commendable that you stood up for yourself and chose not to take her back. Discovering that she had a new boyfriend and intentionally mistreated you to prompt a breakup is a complex revelation. It's understandable that you may feel a range of emotions from confusion to hurt. It's clear that her actions were unjustifiable, and your decision to not take her back demonstrates strength and self-respect. It's promising that you felt a sense of catharsis after standing your ground and expressing that you no longer cared about her. As you navigate through this period, allow yourself the time and space to heal. You deserve respect and kindness in your relationships, and I hope you find the support you need to move forward positively. Story 2. Happily married for a year after dating for 3 years. Everything has been great. Up until recently, I feel as though I'm getting worried. I have cheated on one other serious relationship when I was much younger. Before I met my husband, I was always worried that I was the cheater type and could never make a long-term relationship last. But maybe if I found true love that I would be cured, and my husband is more than anything I could ever wanted in a life partner, sexually and as a best friend and a father. But I have still found myself having those urges to seek male attention when I'm feeling insecure or bored, or if my husband isn't paying enough attention to me. I realize I sound like a terrible brat. I'm just trying to be honest in this post and not justify my behavior to you. Before we were married, I was very sexually active and frequently used sex with casual partners as entertainment for myself. I also worked as a high-class escort for a small number of clients, a total of 6 over 2 years, and did some professional lingerie photo shoots for private collections. And I was completely honest with my husband when we started dating, and he knows all of my history. Not every detail, of course, but the framework. Before, I never saw sex as an intimate act with a lover until I met my husband. I'm not looking for sex when I think about cheating. I miss the thrill of the chase. I miss being hit on. I miss sending sexy pictures to guys. I miss the look on a guy's face when he's working hard to have a chance with me. I miss flirting and teasing and playing and having secrets. And when we first started dating, we took it slow. I didn't cut myself off from that lifestyle cold turkey, but eventually for quite a while, I felt like I was able to live without it. But now that the figurative honeymoon is over, I'm worried about myself. Can I live without getting praise from other men for my body and sexuality? I don't want to hurt my husband. I don't want to have an affair. But I love getting attention from other males. I'm afraid I might take it too far now that things are slowing down with us and life has started to take over the newlywed feelings. Tonight, for the first time, he only lasted for 45 seconds in bed, and I had to quickly stop myself from crying. I had this flash horror vision of our future where sex just keeps getting worse and I start cheating. That's not what I want. But people, married people, tell those stories all the time. Is my marriage doomed after just 1 year? Am I showing all the signs of the typical unhappy marriage? I'm not looking for encouragement to help with willpower to stay faithful. I understand that's my responsibility as a wife. I'm worried thinking about the struggle for the rest of my life with something that I see as a part of my personality and that I hoped would dissipate because I'm truly in love. But now I'm realizing that was a fantasy. What do I do? Consider discussing your feelings and fears with your husband. Express your love, concerns about the longevity of passion. And occasional longing for past attention. In long-term relationships, occasional challenges in intimacy are normal. What matters is long-term trends. Disregard judgmental advice. Individuals have varying needs for admiration and sexual attention. It's subjective, and everyone requires a different level of affirmation for happiness. Remember, it's not about good or bad. It's about understanding and communicating your unique needs to maintain a fulfilling relationship. Comments. You need to get into therapy and figure out what is causing all of those urges. Tell your husband if you have to, but get some help with this. You can only hold off those urges for so long before you give in and ruin what could actually be a happy life. Also, 45-second sex happens sometimes. It in no way is a prophecy of your future with this man. I think you made some insightful comments. You described your desire as insecure and attention-seeking. Sounds like you have issues with trust, relationships, and intimacy. The relationships you described were shallow. Are there sexual abuse, assault issues in your life? The other poster is right. You should get into therapy and explore these issues.